Marsh PC Wabash. Now we are on the Whiffle Tree cup. Alright. Anyways, right here is the worm dryer. Right here, these two long lines is where your Whiffle Tree bracket rides. On mine, the 4 lift cables come to this bracket, and that's where they terminate. You can do, say one cover is not lifting, or one lift arm is not lifting all the way, or kind of like lagging behind, say, a 1/4 inch. You can come to your Whiffle Tree and make minute adjustments at the Whiffle Tree by just turning the nut for that particular cable so it's in sync with the rest of them. To make a major adjustment, mine has a little pulley on the inside here, and it's got 3 holes in it. I think each one of those holes is 1.5 inches. It's a pretty big swing, so you really don't want to use that unless you absolutely have to. So what we want to do, I did not do this last time because I couldn't figure out how to take the cover off. Now that I had a little bit more experience with this thing, I realized the only way to get this cover off is to take them jack screws out right here. I'll show you when I reassemble. Anyways, I got some simple green, and we're gonna degrease my cover here. Because this is a degreaser, why not use it? All I gotta do is clean it. I don't think this bottle's been used in a while, but got a lot of pop to it. Alright, so off. That looks good. Now we're going to put fresh grease on. But with the grease off, you can clearly see how the bracket rides on the Whiffle Tree. Like I said, this is your long worm screw, which we greased up at the first part of the video. These are the 2 end pieces that connects the worm screw, and sitting between it is the bracket. Like right now it's in the down position, so the bracket's way up here. It's about this wide. What that does, when you engage, depending on which way you're coming, that bracket actually turns like this. And this, with the Whiffle Tree cover, is what stops it from digging into your floor. Without this cover being in place, it would turn and go right up into your wood floor and just demolish the underside of your camper trailer in that area. But with the bracket in place, it can only come here, and then it stops and that rides down, and then when you lower it, it'll slide over on this side and ride back up. Or it could be vice versa. I don't know. But that's how it does. It'll go rock one way, go down, rock the other way, come up. That's why you have got to have this grease, because metal on metal, where you get, why is my trailer hard to put up? Probably because you ain't got no grease on this cover, and it's just digging in and skipping. You can see from where it skipped here. It didn't slide smooth. It skipped. But guess what? We gonna solve that problem, because we're gonna run a bead of grease, fresh grease, right down, and we're gonna put it on liberal. We're coming right down this line. Right there, we know where it ends. Then we're going to come over on this other side, and we're going to go right up where it rides on this side. just like that. And that may make for, that'll make less work on the motor for sure. It's got fresh grease. And then we're going to put it where the whiffle tree screw, worm screw is, big screw. And we're going to put some right there. And then we're just going to go do a little finger painting. And just kind of get that whole area. We ain't going to go outside that area because it's no use. We know where it's riding. But we're going to get it right like that. I'm going to show you what I had to do because that, I don't think, it's my jack stand. I lowered it down because I took this big nut out, this sheet metal screw. So the only thing holding it over there is a single sheet metal screw. If I'd have left it up, it probably would have came down and bent that end of the bracket. So, what's the stabilizer got? Stabilizer got a big foot. So I unbolted this, lowered the I unlowered the stabilizer jack just enough so I could get some space here. Now, what we're going to do is slide this whiffle tree back in place, or this whiffle tree cover, I should say, back in place. So, I got, let me see if you're here. So, I got a lip here that the whiffle tree sits on. I got another lip right here that we got to slide up. And we're going to slide it back over to where we started. First, we're going to cover this grease up. Alright? So, we're going to pick the bracket. Did I get it that time? Yes, we are in. Now we are in. We made it in. Didn't mess up our grease too bad. Got that little chunk right there. And a little bit right there. But overall, we are completely greased up. Alright, cool beans. Now, let me see if I put. What I'm going to do is just put that there temporarily so I don't knock it over. Alright, let's get back under here and get our screw gun out. Yes, I'm right here. I'm going to slide this over here back in place. Now, I'm going to get my little thing of tools. This big one goes up into this hole. We'll come back and visit that. So I will stick it in this cardboard right there. Now these guys, they go back in here. So they're going to get this clutch out of drill mode and put it into clutch mode. It looks like we're pretty lined up. So I'm going to get one ready. Push up like this. And there's the hole right there. That's one. We are not tight. Crossway. Now, see if I can get you down under here for one last question on here. This right here is the 12-volt plug to run this motor. Alright, do not plug in the shore power and run your motor. It'll mess it up. But this is 12-volt plug. If for some reason your motor stops, to override the 12-volt system, come under here and unplug this plug, which takes any power away from this motor. That way you can come through this hole with your crank and go on this stud right here and crank your pop up. Alright, figured I'd show you that while I was under here, because there was a lot of questions on that. Let's see, we got all the greasing done. The next thing we're going to do is hook this jack back up. Right there, follow the end of this jack, and there's silver sheet metal screw. That's all that was holding it up. But we had to undo this end to get to it. Well, this had a sheet metal screw, plus it also had a bolt with a nylon insert in the bolt as a lock washer. So I had to have 2 wrenches to get that off. Now, I just jacked it up and my bolt looks straight, so this should line me up pretty close with my sheet metal screw that came out of it. And there it is right there. And that was, I believe, this one right here. There we go. Get up. So we're going to reconnect that. And get it flushed up, and we're there. So that's that. And this other one, where's the nut? Was a (9/16) nut with a lock washer on the inside of it, plastic lock washer. But I had to hold it, so I'll hold it with my channel locks down here. And now that's done. I'm going to go ahead and jack this. Go ahead and put this stabilizer back up now that it's properly secured again. I'm going to move y'all out the way for the time being. So I'll be back when we do some brake adjustments. Later.